Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our Division II Game of the Week preview as the Indiana University of Pennsylvania Crimson Hawks travel to take on Slippery Rock. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with IUP.
The Crimson Hawks have been dominant so far this season. IUP has only given up 6 points a game and has pitched 2 defensive shutouts already. And in order to keep up that stellar performance this week versus interstate rival Slippery Rock, the secondary, which has only allowed 1 touchdown pass this season, will face their toughest test yet, and the Rock can really wing it around the stadium. Now, the Crimson Hawks offense is built around a ground game. They are a run-based offense that only throws off play action or if need to. And they have some outstanding weapons out there as well. This week, they may find themselves early in the ball game having to break those tendencies just to be able to create more room for their running game. Now let's move over to Slippery Rock in this ball game, and quarterback Nigel Barksdale has done a fabulous job this year getting everyone involved in the passing game, and the way they can spread the field is why teams have problems matching up versus Slippery Rock. In their passing game expands your coverage, and it puts a lot of pressure on your nickel and dime defenders. Now defensively for the Rock, their pass defense is a direct beneficiary of going up against a potent passing game every day in practice. This week versus IUP, the biggest question for that defense will be how well can they stop the run and how active can their cornerbacks and safeties be in run support. The X factor for the Crimson Hawks will be their pass rush. Can they get to the quarterback? This is a team that does a great job versus the run, but this week versus Slippery Rock, they have to put pressure on Barksdale, otherwise it could be a long day. The X factor for Slippery Rock will be their defensive line. They know getting off the bus, they're going to have to stop the run on first down, second down, and sometimes even third down. If they can't do that, look for IUP to march the football up and down the field versus this defense. Now here are some coaching points for both teams in this ball game. For the Crimson Hawks, you have to weather the first quarter flurry that's going to come from Slippery Rock. You know they're going to probably go for the jugular early in the ball game, weather the storm, get back on track. And you want to get multiple in your offense without losing your identity. That's with different personnel, different formations. Get multiple, but don't lose who you are by trying to match point for point or match scheme for scheme with Slippery Rock. And you want to maximize your red zone opportunities. When you're a run-based offense, you have to capitalize every time in the red zone with touchdowns instead of field goals just to keep up the pace. Now for Slippery Rock, halftime adjustments on offense are key. You have to switch it up when you come out of the half, because this is one of the top defensive football teams in Division II, and if you give them the same game plan coming out of halftime, they're going to beat you. And you have to trust your personnel on defense, man up on the wide receivers, trust that you can make plays one-on-one, because you really have to focus on stopping the run versus the Crimson Hawks, and it's all about alignment and assignment. Do your job. Don't try to be a hero. Play your assignments, remain gap disciplined, and you can have a chance versus IUP. Now here are some 2014 draft prospects you want to watch out for in this ball game. For IUP, a lot of transfers from major FBS programs, but they are very talented. Look at Akeem Smith, 6'4", 290, outstanding defensive tackle, and a big-time wide receiver in Terrell Barnes, 6'3", 215, and Carl Fleming, a transfer from Pitt, 6'2", 225, brings a lot of speed and also excels in pass coverage. For Slippery Rock, you look at their linebacker, Quindell Dean, one of the best linebackers in Division II. Here's a guy that's all over the football field, and I'm a big fan of Anthony Saunders, 5'10", 180. Despite his size, he's an active corner that's always around the football. Former head coach Frank Signetti coached at IUP from 1986 to 2005 and compiled a 182, 90, and 1 record and never had a losing season, and also captured 2 conference titles and 12 division titles. Greg Hopkins is one of the best players in Slippery Rock history. Here's a guy that was a 3-time All-American and still owns the school records for receptions with 215, career yardage with over 3,400, and was an outstanding receiver that wasn't afraid to go across the middle. I like Slippery Rock in this ballgame. Offensively, you know they will put up points, maybe not a lot of points like they're used to putting up throughout the course of the season, but they will put up some points enough to win. And I think their defense will step up and get those 2 or 3 stops that are needed, so they will out-possession IUP, and that's how ultimately they'll win the game. So I like Slippery Rock to win this one at home.